is up, guys? M.V.K here, back again. Welcome to one of two of the latest movie reviews that I have seen. So we're going to kick this off, guys, with the first movie. Once again, I told you guys I would be posting these. I'm sorry about the delays, but again, I still want to give my thoughts, and I know some of you guys wanted to hear my thoughts, so that's what I'm here to do. Now, first off, we're going to start off with the movie with Jurassic Park Rebirth. Jurassic Park Rebirth. I saw this, when did I see it? I can't remember when I saw it. It wasn't in August, though, I can tell you that much. It was probably late, maybe 2 weeks after it came out. I caught a nice early matinee, and it was fun. So with that being said, let's get right to it. Did I enjoy the movie? Yes, I did. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm a dinosaur nerd. You know, I love dinosaurs. So of course I was gonna geek out on seeing things. But of course you're also gonna look at it from a point of view as like, for someone who's watched every Jurassic Park, you're also going to look at it from a point of view as like, okay, what more can they do, and you know, where can they go with this? And that's some of the things that I went into when I saw this one, going into seeing this one. The first thing, of course, was how would someone who has been wanting to be a part of this franchise, that being Scarlett Johansson, how did she fare in this? What was her character? Her name was Zora Bennett, no relation, and she seemed to be military-esque, and I thought she did a pretty good job. You know, I didn't hate ScarJo in the role. I thought she was pretty good. There were points where you could just like, you know, she just is being herself in a sense. But I did enjoy her attitude. Like, there were points you could see like it was all about the mission, and then it wasn't about the mission. Mahershala Ali was really fun, and you could see that a lot of the characters that you thought was just going to be like almost one-sided, they had different sides to them, what I appreciate. So, but the concept of the story behind it is, sorry. The concept around the story was somewhat interesting, because what it does take place in the same world, and basically what they go with, the creators basically go with is, for this, the writers basically say everything that happened in the previous trilogy, almost they were like, well, screw that. Okay, we're changing that. And basically, yeah, they basically changed it, where pretty much they had acknowledged that dinosaurs, all the dinosaurs that were living, they can't live above the equator. Basically, like all those dinosaurs that were in like snow-capped areas, they died off. They were dying, and we saw one of the last cephalopods dying right in New York City. He died right under, I think he died right underneath the Brooklyn Bridge, which was interesting. And they also start to see that in the Jurassic Park world, people are starting to, especially kids, not caring about dinosaurs no more. They don't care. They're tired of them and things like that. And that right there was kind of shocking. So basically, like I said, it was the writer of this movie basically saying, to what happened in the previous 3 movies, fuck that. That didn't happen. And you can clearly see that's what they were going with. I'm like, yeah. It did feel bad when you see Dr. I'm forgetting his name, the main paleontologist. He's telling them the story. Like, look, like there used to be lines out of the woodwork to get into the museum to see but now he can't even sell like 5 tickets. That was something that I really was really interesting about, and I was just like, wow, you know, imagine that, because who doesn't like dinosaurs? You know, they made these. What always fascinates me about dinosaurs so much is the fact that these things actually existed. These creatures, these animals were real. they weren't fake. They're not made up. They were real. And that was something that I really enjoyed about it. I'm like, okay, that's real. So when you see that stuff in these movies, and they're like, well, people are tired of them, and I probably can understand it, but to me, younger Chris and older Chris is like, I could never get tired of that. So basically, they are asked to go on to one of the islands. The island, I don't remember what, I'm forgetting what island. To get samples from 3 of the biggest dinosaurs on the planet, or on this island, and for some kind of cure. And they take the job. Now, but with that mission going on, there was another story. As all Jurassic Park they have to bring in, there has to be almost a element that we are supposed to be behind. The innocence of being on the island. This being a young family that would take a trip all the time. A father, his 2 daughters, and one of his daughters brings her boyfriend, and they are traveling from, I think, they take a sailboat from one point to I think Johannesburg, and that's when pretty much they realize they get attacked. Their ship gets destroyed, and it's by the Mosasaurus. And you actually see something else chasing them later on. Now, the animals that they needed were the Titanosaurus, the Mosasaurus, and the biggest, I'm forgetting the pterodon bird, I'm forgetting. But yeah, they needed the samples of them. And those were cool too. Each time they went to get the sample of each dinosaur, it was cool. It was very cool. How they got the Mosasaurus was really cool, you know, and they really played up just how scary this thing could be. And of course, they reintroduced the Spinosaurus, and here in this one, the Spinosaurus looks more accurate to what it's supposed to look like. Was it still as deadly? Yes. You can check it out for yourself. I think it's out digitally right now. It won't come out to Blu-ray until September, I believe. So yeah, and we saw them chomp. You see a lot of chomp by dinosaurs in this movie. But before they even get on the island, half of Scarlett's team is dead. I'm not even joking about that. So that's that just is shocking right there. The main paleontologist was a student of Dr. Grant. So there's your where's the seed of this is still in universe? Well, there it is. That was one of them right there. And once he said that, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Saying he was an undergrad under Dr. Grant. Most of the characters were relatable, especially the family. The family, I was like, okay, I could relate to this to a degree. But some of the scenes just between them alone was just downright scary. Especially the Tyrannosaurus Rex scene. That is just scary because in this one, the T-Rex looked like they bulked him up. He looks bigger than any T-Rex that I've seen in previous movies. He looks massive from just the way his body shaped to his head. You know, it was, and when we finally see the river scene that was in the original book, it was supposed to be in the original movie, but they put it in this. And it's scary. It's legit scary. And I love the tension of how they built that up from point A to point B. Yes, there are mutated hybrid dinosaurs in this, and I think that was something that most of us figured that would happen. They would really start bringing more of the scientific, mad scientist vibes, and we see these hybrid dinosaurs that look mixture between a pteranodon and a raptor, and it's kind of scary. Are the raptors in this like the regular? yeah, but they get outclassed real quick. This is the first time the Raptors are kind of pushed aside. Like, the Raptors have always been probably the secondary or, main dinosaur, and in this time it's not. And then of course we have the D-Rex, which we see at the beginning, and the D-Rex, mostly, I'll let you guys know, still don't want to spoil it for anybody. The D-Rex, you find he stayed inward. He didn't come all the way out like most of the other dinosaurs. So he stayed inward next to the facility that they needed. So he would stay there. And when he came out, yeah, he looked scary to a degree. He had big arms, and then he still had his little arms, and he chomp on a lot of people too. What I also love about this film is something that they always teased in the previous films but never really executed, and it's something that the paleontologists have always said, why don't they do more? Because it is shoot the dinosaurs. Like, we literally see Scarlet Zora shoot one of the pop pop pop, goes down, and I'm like, yeah, how come we never seen that? They make it seem as if the dinosaurs, their skin is so deep that a high-powered bullet couldn't go through it. That's bullshit. And a lot of paleontologists have said that. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, no, they weren't as indestructible as you think they were. Like, so it was good to see that. I liked how they got all the different samples. The scariest one was that was probably the scariest, because that shit came out of and I'm like, yo, the fact that this thing can climb, not just fly, and of course this whole scene of like them talking about how come we can't just get it from the eggs, and why do we have to get it from the egg? Can we get it from the parent? And of course the big joke, I suppose we can get it from the parent, but they're the size of an F-16, and when it landed and came inside, it was scary. I was like, oh, that's scary. And even when it started climbing up the wall, I'm like, that's scary. But throughout the movie, it was fun. You're seeing it from Zora and their side, but then you're also seeing it from the family's perspective, and even when they come back together, it was cool too. So, and you start to get a sense of who the real bad guy is of the group, and it was quick. Even if you go into this movie and you don't really see a clear-cut villain, you'll see it. Trust me, you will. Overall, I thought Jurassic Park Rebirth was fun. It was exciting. The music still captures what you want from the essence of Jurassic Park. But more importantly, it just was fun. It was a fun movie, and clearly Jurassic Park still sells because people still love dinosaurs, and this movie did sell very well. It did very well. But there are going to be people like myself that were like, okay, are they going to do another one, and where can they go with this? Are they fully going to go real mad scientist hybrids more, or will they tap into the stuff that Steven Spielberg wanted to do? Do you know, this is a fun fact, he wanted to do dinosaur human hybrids at one point. I'm like, yeah, no, that's stupid. But the point is, it was fun. The D-Rex, you can add them to the list of, great showing for what was given to them. And would you mind seeing them again? Maybe not. But outside of that, I thought it was fun, and I thought Scarlet, she worked well in the universe. I'm glad she got her wish. She wanted to be a part of, she always wanted to be a part of Jurassic Park, so she did. Would I love to see another one? I'm all for it. But this one wasn't about accuracy. This one, you could clearly see this was really dabbing deep into the mad scientists, like Dr. Frankenstein-esque of it, because there were a lot of hybrids. But they did show like Dilophosaurus and T-Rex. The T-Rex scene was great. Raptors, Titanosaurus, I believe. You know, big long neck. These they were huge. Things like that. And you know, the Mosasaurus was good. The Spinosaurus, I love that they went more accurate with the Spinosaurus. You know, and that was fun. But for me, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I did enjoy it. If you saw Jurassic Park Rebirth, tell me what you thought about it. And you know, I don't know where they can go with it, but I kind of think I got a sense where they may go with it. But you can, like I said before, if you haven't seen it, it is out now, digital, and you can clearly see they said screw to what all happened in the previous trilogy, and they just took what they wanted and just said screw it. I'm telling you right now. But outside of that, guys, you guys take care. I will see you guys next time. That's one. Next, Fantastic Four. First steps. Be there. Deuces.